All right, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Wahar Chah Kodash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders, a great millstone. And as always, Shalom, much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there that's laboring in His work. So yeah, this sitting right here is going to be somewhat of a continuation, of the previous video I uploaded concerning with the times and seasons that's approaching and being a time of trouble such as never been seen before. All right? Whatever time period you can point to, is not going to rival the time that's on the horizon. Even when you consider slavery, when we came over here as cargo, pretty much, to serve hard bondage under our enemies. We was hung and lynched. Our women was raped and ravished. The men was castrated. Families being split up. Our children being fed to alligators, for sport. Well, guess what? The time that's approaching is going to far outweigh the trouble that we experienced in those days, as hard as it seems to digest that, all right? And in part, the Heavenly Father is going to have Esau, the so-called white man, to open up on you jakes, man, which this devil is in the process of waging war against you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And unless you numbered amongst the elect, you're going to get caught up out there, all right? Thus said the prophecies, thus said Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, And, this devil and his advancement in this technology, look, this devil is very diabolical, man. He have all sorts of torturing devices. He had these guillotines, these high-efficient guillotines. He have smart bullets, different weaponry, microwavable weaponry, which will make you feel like you're on fire. There's this one instrument called the Eater. The acronym is EATR, and you can actually Google it, Well, it thrives off biomass, and it was created to devour the dead bodies. If you at war, you have corpse and bodies laying around, where they have a certain machine. It's pretty much a robot that eats up dead bodies, and it functions off biomass, okay? And if you look it up, they do different tests, and they throw everything into the robot, and he devour it. They throw couches and tires, and he devour it. He run right through it. So these devils is going to use these devices on Israel, man. All right? But what mainly is going to make the time that's on the horizon, the most troublesome time, such as it ever has been since there's been a nation, throughout history, is the fact that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through His Son, Yahweh Shah, is going to unleash wild beasts and newly created creatures to wreak havoc on the inhabitants of the planet Earth, and mainly here in America, such as what you see here on the screen, man, which anybody who will see this picture, at first glance, at face value, the first thought to come to mind is Godzilla. And you would dismiss it as, a figment of the so-called white man's imagination in these movies. Well, guess what? There is a Godzilla, man. All right? And his name is Leviathan. And it's recorded in the scriptures. And Lord willing, we're going to read about Leviathan, which he's pretty much one of the handiworks, if you will, of the Most High. See, what you people going to come to understand that the Most High is terrible, man. And it's not out of the range of reality that the Most High have created newly beasts, new beasts that you're not familiar with. And they even show you that on these different documentaries. You might watch these different nature documentaries the National Geographic Channel, Discovery Channel, and they always finding new forms of species, man. Because you people think the Most High is laid back with a remote in his hand, man. No, the Lord is alive and well, and he's very active. That's why one of his titles is the Creator. The Lord is constantly creating. And guess what? He has created newly wild beasts and species of animals that you people are foreign to. All right? And pretty much you people can't comprehend. And this is not, again, this is not far-fetched if you really understand, you know, the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, which the Lord has only showed us a spark. You know? The Lord is heavy, man. The Lord is far out there. Just consider the human body. You know? You start off as pretty much liquid and you grow into skin and bones in the womb. And ultimately you breathe your first breath of air and you grow into a walking and talking power, man. Hey, that's uncomprehendable right there. The fact that the Lord set the sun in the air is dispensed on nothing. It's just suspended in the air. That's a marvelous work. So you mean to tell me a power that creates such things, such great things that's uncomprehendable, you mean to tell me that there's limitations, that the Lord can't create, you know, different beasts? Well, guess what? What you're going to find out in this lesson, that the Lord has indeed created newly wild beasts and creatures that you can't wrap your mind around, man. And they have a certain purpose, and that's to bring about the Lord's vengeance. All right? So, you know what? Let me start off with a quick precept before we really get into this lesson. Because you know what? Your pastors and preachers, they're not going to touch on the terror of the Lord. The scriptures tell you, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. All right? So we're in a time now where the Lord is pretty much about to show his power in full force. All right? So this is the book of Job, the 37th chapter. In the 5th verse, it says, "The Most High thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend." Yeah, so the Lord is not in a box, man. You people like to put the power of the Lord in a box, as if the Lord have limitations. Look, there's nothing impossible with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right? And the fact that the Lord have created wild beasts and creatures that you can't comprehend is in harmony with the scriptures. All right? So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, starting at verse 17. "For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions." Yeah, because when the Lord created everything through his son, when you really go into it, he didn't want to send, you know, fierce bears and lions amongst the people. In fact, when you go into the time of Adam, you know, and the Israelites in that day, the beasts of the field, they was in subjection to humans. They actually feared humans, man. All right? But, you know, eventually we fell from our grace. You know, we broke the laws. Now the Lord have these animals turning up, okay? So again, Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 17, "For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions," which, again, bears and lions is animals that you're somewhat accustomed to. Yet, if you came across a bear or a lion, you would run up out of your shoes trying to get away. All right? Verse 18, "Or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created." See? Or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created. Yeah, so the Lord actually have wild beasts in the cut. And they have a certain appointed time where they're going to emerge, man. See, the things that's going to take place here in America is going to bug you people out. You see? The reality of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is going to become more and more up close and personal, man. Okay, you people, you have been living under the vibration of Esau and seeing things through the replica of his lies. So pretty much the things that's reality, you deem as fantasy. And the things that's fantasy, that's what you deem as reality. All right? But you're going to come to know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me get some real quick. And I'll go back there. The book of Psalms, the 9th chapter. In the 16th verse, it says, the Lord is known by the judgments which he executed. See? So this is how the Lord is known. And this is how you people are going to come to know the Lord. That's why the scriptures often end with the phrase, then they shall know that I am the Lord, man. All right? Because once the Lord bring about his judgment, that's when you're going to know. It's not going to be up for debate. You know, you got these atheists and certain people, even amongst our people, who subscribe to that black consciousness BS, you know, Kemetic, Pan-Africanism, and, you know, all these weird, bugged out doctrines. They really don't believe in the Most High. But in that day, you're going to know, okay, when the Lord pour out his wrath. Again, Psalms 9 and 16, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hijian Salah. All right? So let's go back. Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 18 again. Or unknown wild beast full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparks out of their eyes. Yeah, and these are the things that you only can picture in a science fiction movie, man. But guess what? This is the gospel. This is actually written. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah actually have newly created creatures that blow smoke and fire out of their nose, man, and sparks out of their eyes. And again, something I want to point out real quick. It says, or unknown wild beasts full of rage. Yeah, see the animals that you're accustomed to seeing, like a lion or a bear, they not always turned up. You know, there's times where you can catch a lion just chilling, man. You know, he might be full, you know, and he's not looking to chase you, and he's just chilling. But these newly created beasts and these creatures are full of rage, man. All right? It says, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparks out of their eyes. All right? Verse 19, whereof not only the harm might dispatch them at once, but also the terrible sight utterly destroy them. Meaning what? At the sight of these newly created creatures, you're going to give up the ghost. Yeah, because, yeah, you people not ready for the Lord, man. You're not ready for, you don't understand what type of power you're dealing with here, man. And again, if you're spiritual, you will know that these things are not far-fetched, man. Just look at the human body, man. All right, look at these different animals. You know, different beasts. You have birds that fly, okay? You have different fish, you know, in the sea life. Hey, just the fact that the wind, you know, man, the brothers we be speaking on is the wind is heavy, man. What else you can think of that you can feel but you can't see? You know, just ponder on that. What else could you think of that you can feel but you can't see it, man? The wind, man, or your breath, you know, or something like that. That's a marvelous work. And a wise man will consider these things. You will consider the works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And in doing so, you will understand that there's nothing above the strength of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. There's no limitations, man. All right? Verse 20, yeah, and without these might they have fallen down with one blast, being persecuted of vengeance, and scattered abroad through the breath of thy power. But thou hast ordered all things in measure and number and weight. Yeah, meaning the Lord have a reserved time when he do things. Everything is measured and everything is weighed and is balanced. See, right now is the time appointed for the inhabitants of the planet Earth to experience pleasure, you know, to do what they think suits them. You do what you want to do, all right? It's an old saying in the world, the calm before the storm, man, all right? But believe you me, the Lord is getting ready to spring into action, man. Hey, you got to understand, this is the Lord world, man. This is the Lord planet, man. The Lord rules over heavens and earth and everything in it. And you people going to know that, man. The Lord is not tiptoeing around, you know, staying out of your way. It's just a appointed time before him to fulfill what's written in these scriptures, all right? Verse 21, for thou canst show thy great strength at all times when thou wilt, and who may withstand the power of thine arm? Yeah, so the Lord can show his power anytime, man, when he will. But again, the Lord is bound by his word. So everything is in measure. Everything is in its perfect order. All right? But the Lord still show his power, you know, in the form of tornadoes and hurricanes, you know, thunderstorms and lightnings and earthquakes. Well, guess what? The Lord is going to show his power in the form of strange and marvelous works. And it's going to be in the form of these newly created creatures, man. All right? Like you see on the screen, okay? Which brings me here. This is Job 41, starting at verse 1. Canst thou draw out a Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord with thou lettest? Yeah, and this is the Lord asking Esau, the so-called white man, can you draw out Leviathan with a hook? And who is Leviathan? Well, this is a good depiction of him right here, man. Okay? The sea monster, man, if you will. And he resides in the deep. Okay? And again, we don't expect, you know, you light guys out there to understand this. But guess what? You're going to know. You're going to know very soon, because there's going to be a day when Leviathan is going to emerge. And that's according to biblical prophecy, man. All right? So again, it says, canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? And this shows you the power of the scriptures, because this is actually pinpointing with accuracy the way the so-called white man fish. When you go into the ancient world, they used to fish with a net. You know, they'll cast the net out into the sea or the river or what have you. And, you know, if it was the fish's time, he'll get caught up in the net. But these devils, they created a fishing pole, man, where they have a bait and they have a hook. All right, so that's what the Lord is saying. Can thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? Because that's what happened when you fish. You know, the so-called white man and his cruel methods, man. He'll set the pole out there and he'll let the cord down, all right? Verse 2, canst thou put a hook into his jaws, or bow his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Yeah, and that word supplications mean beg. So the Lord is asking Esau, will Leviathan beg you? Because guess what, man? These animals, they actually beg this devil, man. You know, when you see the so-called white man catching birds, which, hey, look, man, if you don't know, it's 2019. If you don't know that the so-called white man is the devil, then you're going to be destroyed, man. Point blank, period. All right, straight up. All right, you take a bird. All right, a bird has a wide range. You know, they can fly from here to the East Coast to the West Coast throughout the world. Yet the so-called white man, you know, thought it would be a good idea to make a bird cage, man. Okay, put a bird in a little bitty cage when a bird have a range to fly all over, man. That's wicked, man. All right, and guess what? These animals, they actually beg Esau, man. You know, when this devil trap them, these bear traps and shit like that, these animals, they beg Esau. Again, it says, will he make supplications unto thee? That word supplications mean beg. Will he speak soft words unto thee? And the answer is no, because Leviathan ain't going to beg you, man. All right? And this is not written for nothing. This is not written for entertainment. This is written because Leviathan is actually going to show up, man. All right? Verse 4, will he make a covenant with thee, wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Yeah, because the so-called white man is known for having zoos. Okay? He pretty much, these animals is servants to the so-called white man up in these zoos, man. Goddamn gorillas. You see the look on their face. They just defeated, man. Man, look, the so-called white man got to go. All right? These lions, they beat them into submission, have them in a cage. Verse 5, wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall thy companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Yes, you're going to take Leviathan, chop them up and package them and sell them. Because these devils, they sell shark meat, they sell lobsters and crabs. They sell all these unlawful foods, man. They just kill the sea life, man, and sell them. But the Lord says you're going to do Leviathan like that when Leviathan show up. And you notice the Lord take pride in Leviathan, man. Again, Leviathan is one of the handiworks of the Lord. And you think the Lord is not going to present them? Verse 7, canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Yeah, and that's symbolic to the weaponry of the so-called white man. Those barbed irons, they could be, rocket launchers, Scud missiles. Verse 8, lay thine hand upon him, remember that battle, do no more. Yeah, so the Lord is pretty much bragging on Leviathan, man. He said, lay your hand on Leviathan, and you're going to remember that battle and you will do it no more. All right. Verse 9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Yeah, meaning when you see Leviathan, you're going to die. Just to see Leviathan, you will give up the ghost. Because you people, you're going to say, oh shit, Godzilla, Look, man, the Most High is terrible, man. Hey, that's why the Lord is known as a snare, man. You think it's a coincidence that the Lord condition your mind to watch these Godzilla movies? Man, the Lord is going to play a cruel joke on you people, man. All right? When Leviathan raise up, guess what? You people going to see him, you're going to give up the ghost. All right? Which, going back 5-10 years ago, I believe, there's been strange sounds that's been recorded, man, throughout the earth. And nobody know what they is, man. That's these wild beasts beginning to wake up through the spirit, man. I believe that. Because, these different animals, they might be on a different frequency. They might sleep 100 years. Hey, and even when you go, if you ever watched a cartoon or whatever, or an old movie dealing with pirates, if they're on a voyage and they show the map, well, it's always a sea serpent on the map, man. That's symbolic to Leviathan. These devils, they know about Leviathan, man. Which, when you go back to the Titanic, I believe through the spirit, and a lot of brothers, they agree with this, that it was Leviathan that took down the Titanic, man. Because the scriptures tell you, I forget where it's at, it say Leviathan playeth with ships, playeth with the ships, man. All right? Damn, I forget what that scripture is. I know it's in the book of Psalms, where it talk about how Leviathan playeth with the ships, So anyway, again, verse 9, behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Yeah, just to see Leviathan, you're going to give up the ghost, all right? Verse 10, none is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Yeah, so that's Yahweh Shah letting Esau know, look, man, you coming up against me and you don't even want to stir Leviathan up, man. Which Leviathan is nothing more than a pet of the Lord, man. All right? And there's not another creature on the planet Earth created quite like Leviathan. All right? You know what? Let me get some real quick. Because you people, you think that these is all the Lord's creations. Tell you, man, you people don't know what power you're dealing with. All right? What's that? I believe it's right here. Let me see. Is that Ecclesiasticus? Give me 1 second. Where is that? Okay, the water Yahweh outside came to mind. Yep. Ecclesiasticus 43. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus 43 and 32. It says, there are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. See? So when you see elephants and giraffes and lions, that's just a few of the works of the Lord, man. Okay? This is one of his hidden works. And I keep showing this picture. This is one of the best depictions of Leviathan, according to the scriptures. Because you know what? As we read, scriptures actually describes Leviathan. All right? So let's read on. Verse 11. Who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. Yeah, so that's the Lord telling Esau, look, man, everything here on the planet Earth is mine, man, and beyond, all right? Verse 12, I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his commonly proportion. So the Lord said, look, I'm not going to conceal the way Leviathan pretty much looked. The Lord is about to reveal to you how he looked, all right? Verse 13, who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. Yeah, so pretty much, man, Leviathan teeth could be the size of damn school buses, man. All right? Or better. Verse 15, his scales are his pride. Yeah, and that's dealing with his skin. Shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no arrow can come, no air, Salaki, that no air can come between them. Yeah, meaning his scales is so, his skin is so tightly joined. Because just say you consider your skin, you have pores. You know, it can be penetrated, but not Leviathan, all right? Verse 17, they are joined one to another. They stick together. They cannot be sundered. Yeah, Leviathan can't be penetrated. All right. It says, by his neesons, a light doeth shine. Yeah, what do it mean by neesons? It means when he sneezes. Okay. It said, by his neesons, a light doeth shine. Yeah, so when Leviathan is in the deep sea and he sneezes, fire come out, man. Because he's a fire-breathing creation of the Lord. And I know this is going to go above a lot of people's head, man. But this is not for you. This is for the elect, all right? It said, by his neesons a light doeth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Yeah, right here, man. Godzilla. That's what you niggas gonna say, man. When you see Leviathan raised up, you're gonna be saying, shit, Godzilla, man. Yeah, man, the Lord great, man. All right? And you notice the Lord is bragging on Leviathan, man. Think the Lord just talk. Look, the Lord don't sell wolf tickets, man. you think the Lord wasted his ink, if you will, writing this, man? No. This is going to be fulfilled. You people are going to actually see Leviathan, man. And again, this is what's going to make the time that we're approaching such a time that has never been seen before. All right? Verse 21, his breath kindle coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. Okay? And his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. All right. His heart is as firm as a stone. Yeah, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. Meaning what? You can't run Leviathan off, man. He hard-headed. And rightfully so. Because he's pretty much the king of beasts. There's not another beast on the planet Earth that compare to Leviathan. And through the spirit, I believe he's made up. Leviathan could be made up of iron, man. A lot of people say, oh, hold up, you're going too far. But look, man, whatever elements on the earth the Lord can create something with, man. And the reason why I say that, because in order for you to breathe fire, you don't have lungs. Your lungs is not flesh, man. So this is one of the Lord, man, this is a beautiful piece of work of the Lord right here, man. All right? Verse 25, when he raiseth up himself, see, this shows you that Leviathan actually wakes up. It shows you that Leviathan actually wakes up. And, you know, you have these different countries, they test firing these missiles, man. So they can actually be stirring Leviathan up and not know it, all right? It says, when he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid by reason of breakings. They purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon, all right? And this is ancient words for these modern weapons, meaning you can shoot a damn missile at Leviathan, man. And I'm going to say it like this. When Leviathan raise up, his head can be damn near up at the top of the earth, man. Okay? He can knock airplanes out the air, all right? Verse 27, he esteemeth iron as straw. See, they let you know Leviathan is something else, man. And brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Yeah, dealing with what? Missiles or whatever, man. All right? Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of his spirit. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. Yeah, whenever he breathes, at that fire, the ocean boils, man. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be horror, all right? Upon earth, there is not his like. Yeah, so it's nothing on the earth that can compare to Leviathan, who is made without fear. Yeah, even a lion has fear. You know, a lion will run from the so-called white man if he shoot. Leviathan wasn't created with fear, man. And again, this is the marvelous works of the Lord. Look, man, the Lord is about to show his power full force. You know, the Lord is about to empty out the kitchen sink, as they say. You know, empty the toolbox, man. The Lord is about to show his power in full strength, and it's going to be in the form of strange and marvelous works. And Leviathan is one of those, all right? Upon earth, there is none. There is not his like, who is made without fear. Yeah, pretty much everything on the earth has fear. You know, you could think you brave, you walk by a guy, and he's raw, he scare your ass, man. That can't happen to Leviathan. All right? Verse 34, he beholdeth all high things, he is the king over all the children of pride. Meaning Leviathan feel as if he can't be defeated. All right? So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, Lord willing. It was edifying. Till the next time I say shalom.